Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be solving another SQL problem. Problem number 1280, students and examinations. Let's take a look at the problem statement. So we're given three tables: students, subjects, and examinations. Student table has two columns, student ID and student name. Student ID is the primary key. Subjects table has one column, subject name, which is the primary key. Examinations has student ID and subject name, and this table doesn't have a primary key, and it may contain duplicates. Alright. So our task is to find the number of times each student attended each exam. Alright, so let's take a look at the example. I created three tables for this example, so we can create an output. It will be easier for you to look at the output this way. Alright, so we're given students table with student ID 1, 2, 13, and 6, with student name Alice, Bob, John, and Alex. Examinations, this is the student ID column. These students attended these subjects for the exam, and these are the subjects: math, physics, and programming. So we are asked to create an output that should look like this. So in student ID, we should have them ordered by student ID and subject name. Alright, so we are going to have the student ID ordered ascending. That's gonna be, so we have 1, 1, 1, 1, and looks like for each subject we have 3 rows for them. So for example, student ID number 2 doesn't take physics exam. We still see physics in the output table, so we're gonna have 3 rows for each student, 3 rows for 3 subjects. So we're gonna have 2, 2, 2, right? 2, 2, 2, 6, and 13. Each of them should appear 3 times. That's the number of the 3 subjects that each student should take. I'm gonna add 1, 2, 3. So it's gonna be 13. Is it? Oh, 6 and 13. Sorry about that. So 6, 13. And student name Alice, Bob, Alex, and John. Alice, Bob, Alex, and John. And the subject name should be just math, physics, and programming in that order. So math, physics, and programming. Alright, so attending exam. As you can see in this examinations table, student ID number 1, Alice, let's count how many math did she take. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. So Alice took 3 exams for math. And for physics, she took 1, 2, 2. And for programming, looks like she took once. Alright. Alright, so Bob didn't take math or Bob didn't take physics, as you can see. So Bob ID number 2, there's no physics. So but he took programming once and math once. So for Bob, math's gonna be 1. Physics, he didn't take. Did he take physics? So number 2, no, he didn't take physics. So physics gonna be 0, programming 1. And Alex has student ID number 6. 6 is not in examination, so Alex didn't take any exam. So in the output we should see 0, 0. And John ID number 13, John took each of the subject once, so it's gonna be 1, 1, 1. All right. The first thing I noticed about these 3 tables and the output, first of all, students and subjects cannot be joined using like regular join, like left join, inner join to each other, because these 2 tables don't have a related columns that can be joined together. And another thing is that in the output table, we should see all the student IDs and student names: Alice, Bob, Alex, and John. They each appear 3 times based on the subjects. So even if Bob didn't take physics exam, the subjects should be in this table. And Alex didn't take any exam, the subjects should be in this output table under subject name as well. And for attended exams, for those that didn't take the exam, we should see the count as 0 right here. So in order to solve this problem, the approach should be, we will do the cross join between these 2 tables to get all of the, so the cross join is used here to combine each row of this table. Each row, we will combine each row of this table with each row of this table. So it's also known as the Cartesian join, since it returns the Cartesian product of the sets of rows from the joined tables. Cross join doesn't need like a related column to join together. So I created here a cross join table of the students table and subjects. So in students table we have Alice, Bob, Alex, and John. We'll cross join with subject. So for Alice we'll have 3 rows, and each of them will be combined with math, physics, and programming. So we have Alice 3 times for math, physics, programming. Bob also has math, physics, and programming. Alex also has math, physics, programming, and same with John. He has math, physics, and programming. This is the product of cross join. And this is exactly what we should see in our output table right here. And after we did the cross join between these 2 tables, we are going to left join with examination. Let's get back to our problems. And first we're gonna do a cross join between students table and subjects table. So let's do select student ID, we will need student name. We'll add the alias later, but for now let's select the columns that we'll need in the output table. Student name, subject name, and it's gonna be a count of subjects. But now let's do the cross join. So it's gonna be from students. It's gonna be from students, and I'm gonna give it an alias as. I'm gonna do cross join with subjects, and I'm going to give it alias s2. You can name it however you want to name it. And in here I'm going to do, so let's do a left join with examinations. Left join with examinations. I'm going to call it E. So student ID we're going to get from students table, so it's going to be s dot, and student name is only in students table, we don't need the alias for it. And subject names here we'll need from subjects table. It's gonna s2. I'm gonna left join with this one. So in here we have to left join on student ID. So it's gonna be s dot student ID equal to e dot student ID. And the subject name, so it's gonna be e dot subject name equal to s2 dot subject name. All right, so let's first run this. Let's do order by student ID and subject name. So let's first run this and see what the table looks like. Okay, so here's our output. This looks good. We have all of the student IDs and student name and all the subject name listed in the under subject column. So now we are going to get the counts of the subject that each student attended. So we're gonna add count. But here we are going to get the count of the not the count from the subjects table, but it's the count of the subject name comes from the examinations, because examinations table has the subject that each student attended or not. So we're gonna get the count in this part. To get the subject name to count of the subject from the right table is important, because if you get the count of the subject from subjects table, we will get like all of them, each of them. But if we get the counts from examination, this is the right count of subject that the student attended or not. So it's going to be count e dot subject name. So we'll call it attended exams. All right, and we are doing aggregation. We have to do group by. Oops, group by. I'm gonna group by student ID, student name, and subject name. All right, so let's run this. As you can see in my output, it shows all of the students with the subject how many times they attended the exam for that subject. So Alice took 3 times for math exam. Bob took 1 math exam, and Alex didn't attend any exams. So let's submit this one. Alright, so I passed all the test cases. Runtime 1669 milliseconds, beats 47.91%. Right, so that's it for today. I see you in another video.